I'll call the meeting to order. Properly posted.
Meeting was posted according to law.
Roll call.
President Johnson.
Here.
Trustee Harding.
Here.
Trustee Holm.
Here.
Trustee Moody.
Here.
Trustee Nugent. Here. Trustee Seeger.
Here.
Trustee Wisniewski.
Here. Any of you want to do citizen participation? Okay. Yeah, if you want to. I just don't want to read the whole paragraph. Come on up. Oh, yeah, I don't want to read the whole paragraph, and you're the only guy, so. Just hit the person icon there. It'll turn, there you go.
The green light. Okay, let's see. Can you hear me? Okay. Good evening, Village of East Troy board members, village staff, and citizens. My name is Gene Rosmarineski. I live at 2968 Main Street, 2 houses down from the Stanford property. I am here to offer my 100% support to Victor and Magnolia Stafford and the remodeling they're undertaking at 2954 Main Street. Some of the things I'm going to say you already know, but I'm going to say them anyhow. The Stanfords took a blighted property off the village hands and are in the process of restoring it at considerable expense. They have run into problems and delays and quite a lot of extra unplanned expenses. We should appreciate and thank them for hanging in there. I do not think many of us would have been able to endure it as well as they have. I listened to comments made at the November 3rd and November 17th Village Board meetings by Chris and Heather, Magnolia, and Victor, and several board members. I was especially dismayed by some of the negative comments made by some of the board members, some that could be perceived as personal attacks on Victor. I would expect the complete board to be supportive and patient with this project because we all know it will get completed. Does anyone believe the Stanfords are going to walk away and abandon this property? No. I was encouraged by President Matt Johnson's fair, supportive, and patient attitude and his offer to assist in future efforts. Thank you, Matt. You are a good guy. I do not care, and the board should not care too much how long it takes to restore the property, because we all know they are working on it and will complete the job. Progress has been slow. That is not uncommon in construction, as most of us would agree. Before the Stanfords purchased the property, the village was receiving many complaints about this rundown property and how it was devaluing other properties in the neighborhood. And now we have a neighbor complaining about how they are being inconvenienced by the construction and all that goes with it. You can't have it both ways. Either you want to put up with a blighted property next door or you want it restored. Which one do you prefer? Construction next door to you is going to be noisy and inconvenient for you at times. There are really not any neighbors complaining or having any major issues with the construction. One neighbor said there was loud construction noises one morning at 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning. I talked to Roger Rohr, next door neighbor on the other side of the property. He lives at 2958 Main Street. He said he and his wife Connie have no complaints, none, with the Stanfords and the construction. He acknowledged that there have been noise and so forth, but agrees that would happen with construction. Roger did say there were a few broken windows, which Victor took care of as promised. The village, Roger, and most of the neighbors, including myself, are very happy that the property is being restored. I believe it will be one of the nicest and probably the most expensive property in the village, in the neighborhood, when it is completed. If I hear any more unwarranted complaints, I will be back here supporting the Stanfords. Thank you, Magnolia and Victor, for undertaking this difficult project and improving our neighborhood. I'm only sorry that I haven't been able to offer free physical labor to Victor due to time constraints with a part-time job. But I'm doing it now. Victor, let me know how I can help. A good neighbor, Gene Rosemarinowski, 2968 Main Street, East Troy, Wisconsin. Thank you.
Thank you, Gene. John? Any commentary? All right, we'll close citizen participation. We'll move on to consent agenda. One motion and a second will approve all the following items. Any item may be pulled from the list and voted on separately.
I'll approve, or make a motion to approve consent agenda as presented.
I'll second.
All right, questions or discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Miscellaneous business, item 1, discussion regarding information from Walworth County related to safety measures being investigated for the intersection of Town Line Road and Highway ES. Is this Jason or Chief?
Yeah, it's me. So Rich Huff, the Public Works Director, County Highway Commissioner, reached out recently and said the county is investigating making ES and Town Line Road a four-way stop. I know they had reached out to you, Chief, right, for some crash data?
Yeah, I think back in September or October, they asked for the last 5 years of all of our accident reports,
Okay.
so.
So I asked Rich what he was looking for from us, and he said basically support and awareness. So I don't know if the village board, he asked me to come back to a meeting after talking with you all to let you know what the thoughts are. I don't know if you all have thoughts on that situation. Jeremy, I don't know if you have an idea what the accidents have been like as far as the number over the last period?
I don't remember the number that I printed out. There's quite a few. When I look at them, I see a lot of driver error more than people going through the stop sign. They stop, and then they say they don't see the cars coming on Highway ES, or they think it's a four-way stop. But there is a sign underneath the stop sign that says cross traffic doesn't stop, so I don't know why they don't see that either. But in my opinion, I think there's gonna be a lot of people that are gonna be happy. I know I brought up that intersection to the county a couple times for them to look at it, and I know a couple times they've cut back some of the site problems that they thought were there. So I think this is their last thing to take a look at it, because I think they keep getting complaints from citizens.
Are they talking about a stop light or stop sign?
I don't know that yet. My gut reaction would be a stop sign. I don't know if you've been down Highway L at all recently, but at Stone School Road, it's kind of an odd intersection there. They recently made that a four-way, or actually it's a five-way stop because it's an odd intersection. But there they just put stop signs. And typically in a situation like this, what they'll do is they'll put out the portable message boards in advance, a week or two, and then they'll stay there for a bit and mark all the stop signs with the orange flags, things like that, just to draw attention to motorists. But I think that's what they're envisioning there is a four-way stop signs.
As a parent with kids who go to Little Prairie right there, I think this is a really great idea. I think a stop sign makes more sense than a stop light to keep traffic flowing. But I know people who have been in accidents in that intersection. I know families who use that intersection to cross, even though there's no crosswalk. I think a big issue is the fact that if you're going east, it goes all of a sudden from 45 to 35. So people coming from the western location, all of a sudden, like if you're coming west and you're going 35, you might think people coming towards you are going as slow as you are. And I know that happened to a friend of mine who tried to make a turn and got T-boned. All that is to say, I think this is a great idea, and I know a lot of parents like myself would be in favor of it.
Can we talk to the county and have like the flashing stop sign like we put on the square for that very reason? I think that would be my only ask.
We can request that. I can certainly bring it to their attention.
I just think it'd be better than having something overhead, like a flashing red light or something overhead that might be difficult to maintain.
Okay. I did ask from a maintenance standpoint or a financial standpoint, and the county wasn't looking for anything from us as far as ongoing maintenance or upfront costs, anything like that. Now, if we ask for that stop sign, that might be something they may say, come back and say, hey, okay, if that's what you want, well, that will be on you. So, but we can certainly ask.
Yeah, and I when you sent me the email about this, I did forward it to the two chairmen, and I haven't heard back, but I would assume that they would be interested in, their boards weighing in on this. I don't think anybody's going to say no, so there might be some cost sharing there. If I can't remember how much those signs are. I guess my only other question is, since we're going to be redoing Town Line Road to the north of that, is there anything we would change?
I did have a brief conversation with Tim about that, but nothing came from that. So at this point, I don't think so. I think the only difference at this point would just be pavement markings, but even that, there's already existing stop signs. So I don't foresee any major changes because of what the county wants to do.
So does Rich want a motion?
No, I don't think we need a motion. I think it sounds like we have general support for it. So I can go back to him with that and the suggestion we have and see if there's any other further discussion that's required.
Any other thoughts, comments, suggestions? All right, that's good, thank you. All right. It's an action-packed miscellaneous business. On to staff reports. Fire Chief's December report. Scott, anything here we should highlight?
Nothing to add.
Okay. Committee reports, Emergency Services District minutes from November 20th. Anything there? All right, and then Booth Lake Memorial Park minutes from November 17th. Anything for Joe? All right. Well, with that, I will move that we adjourn to closed session pursuant to Wisconsin statutes 1985 1F, considering financial, medical, social, or personal histories or disciplinary data of specific persons, preliminary consideration of specific personnel problems, or the investigation of charges against specific persons, which, if discussed in public, would likely to have a substantial adverse effect upon the reputation of any person referred to in such histories or data, or involved in such problems or investigations, and 1985 1C, considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility, DPW and Police Department.
I'll second that.
Roll call vote.
President Johnson?
Yes.
Trustee Harding?
Yes.
Trustee Holm?
Yes.
Trustee Moody?